I feel like I'm doing a bit of a plagiaristic video, but I'll start it off with my own spin. I want to talk about work ethic, and I want to talk about manifestation. In fact, that's what the video is about. The video is about manifestation whilst on NoFap. When I first got onto NoFap, I got in it, much like many of you, under the guise and the belief that I'm gonna get chicks, I'm gonna feel super confident, and my life's gonna be amazing. And obviously that is the benefit. That is going to be the end result. However, it's not like you get on it for 90 days and all of a sudden you have Instagram models hitting you up in your DMs, all wanting to suck your dick at the same time. It doesn't really work that way. What happens is the following. All the things that you previously liked, but you didn't really know you liked, all the things that you were previously good at, but you didn't even know you were good at, all your untapped, harbored potential in every fucking thing that you can imagine begins to seep out of your pores. And not only that, but all your interests will become massively magnified. You see, I've always been interested in the mind, psychology, human behavior, influence. I've always been interested in power and the social game, studying it, knowing how it works. This is just me, right? What else? Always interested in strength and masculinity, protecting my loved ones, serving as a role model and an example for my family and friends, and being the best version of myself, living the best life. All right, I've always seen myself latently inside myself, obviously, as someone who is like a king, who lives like a king, acts like a king, talks like a king, thinks like a king, has the life of a king, is responsible like a king, has the kind of women that a king has, the kind of demeanor that a king has, the kind of palace that a king has, all these things, wears the clothes of a king. I've always seen myself this way. But the issue has been actually manifesting it in my behavior, in my life. Okay, like actually bringing it to reality. Because one of the things I learned on NoPMO, NoFap, didn't know this previously, it was like I was brainwashed before, but I didn't know this. We are creators. We create our lives on a moment-to-moment basis. We create our life. We manifest it every single day. With every thought, with every emotion, we manifest it. Okay, we create our lives. The way you're living right now is the sum of all of your thoughts and emotions that you've given conscious attention to. Okay? You see, our minds are fucking magnificent. Our minds are beautiful. When used correctly, our minds can conquer entire galaxies. Oh, it can get anything done, man. But we don't use our minds consciously. Our minds most of the time uses us. And all the outside programming, all the outside influences that go into our heads, in our minds and our thoughts and our feelings and everything, that gets all mixed up, jumbled up. We then confuse that with ourselves because it's obviously coming from our own heads. We can feel it in our body, so we think that's us, but it's not really us. It's just bullshit. It's just clutter that's going around and around and around, and you're confused. You're in a constant state of confusion. But when you reveal the clarity and the assuredness that exists inside of your mind, and you begin to consciously program it on a moment-to-moment basis, you will see that you're actually capable of anything that you want. If you put your mind to the task, it is capable of achieving anything. I believe this, anything, really. I believe if you give something 100% of your focus and dedication, you can achieve it. Obviously, most people don't know how to do this because most people are actually blind. They're actually blind to their own power. They're ignorant of what they're capable of because they just can't even fathom a life of controlling their minds. They can't. It's so outside of their reality, they don't even know what to do. So I found this out when I was on No PMO, because previously, of course, I was addicted to a life of instant gratification and externalities. I was an external creature. I was not a conscious being that was manifesting his own life, that was in control of his destiny. I was a person who was just a puppet of my emotions, of my thoughts, and whatever the external world would mold and shape me to be. I was a slave. People talk about being a people pleaser. I think I was worse than that. I was addicted to the highs that I would get from people's validation. And if I immediately got any kind of invalidation or devaluation from anyone, I would take that as if it was a personal slight against my entire personality and life and existence as a human being. This is called being weak. This is called being weak, and I used to be a weak person like that. After realizing who I am when I got on No PMO, after going through some spiritual realizations during the lockdown, I realized that there's a conscious being here that's at the core and the center of all this. That's almost actually not even of it. It's just existence. And it's just there. And it's behind all the layers of crap. But it's from that centered point where peace, clarity, and confidence can be found. And it's from that point when the mind can actually think more clearly and towards a good and purposeful aim. When it's in the clutter, you can't do that. When it's free, it can. So why am I talking about this? Where am I going with this? Your lives are literally your creation. If your life is confused, chaotic, and you're depressed and you're anxious, it's probably because you're not using your mind correctly. You see, because if your mind was being used correctly, this wouldn't be the case. If your mind was ordered, and you know what you were doing, your life wouldn't be like that. Your life is like this because you haven't taken control and responsibility of your own mind. Your mind is using you. The first thing you do to gain control over your mind is you start to discipline your passions. What does that mean? That means what you eat. That means what you drink. That means what time you wake up. That means what actions you do physically throughout the day. I.e., you going to the gym? Are you going to work? Are you putting in the hours here and there? Okay, next it goes to your speech. What are you saying? What's coming out of your mouth? What are you talking about? Are you just saying bullshit? Are you trying to gain people's validation through your words? What are you using your mouth for? What are you using your words for? Yeah? So your speech, you start to discipline your speech, you start to discipline your tongue. Alright? Take this a few steps further. You start to discipline who you associate yourself with. What kind of people you hang out with, what kind of people you talk to and converse with. Okay, you discipline your passions. The most important thing, this is where you begin, this is how you control your mind. You self-discipline. Okay, now we're talking about the physical realm. We go to the ephemeral, because people talk about control your mind, control your emotions, control your thoughts. That is stupid. That's a stupid place to start. You can't do that. If you can't even choose what time you wake up, and whether you go to the gym 6 days a week, and you put in the hours at work, and you abstain from eating a bad kind of food, or you just choose to fast, just so you can see whether you can control yourself or not, or you abstain from your drugs or your alcohol, whatever it is. If you can't even fucking do that, how do you expect to control your mind and your thoughts? How? I don't understand. It doesn't make any logical sense to me. You can't do it. If you can't even control what you eat in a given day, or whether you're going to jerk off today or not, you cannot control your mind. Okay? Your mind is actually in control of you. So the first thing is you control your bodily actions. Once you have control of your bodily actions, let's say for 30 days, now you can start to control your mind a little bit. Okay, because at the end of the day, your mind is the one that's actually controlling these bodily actions. So by you choosing or saying to yourself, no, I will not eat that sweet today. I will not have that cigarette. I will not have that weed or whatever it is that your vice is, or that porn. When you say that to yourself, that's self-discipline, that's power. That's control right there. That's very, very, very powerful. I didn't know the value of this until I did it. Until I did it, I didn't know how powerful I was. But you see, we are powerful creatures. We just limit ourselves and we delude ourselves into thinking we're not, because we like to give in to weakness. But here's the thing, gentlemen and ladies, when you discipline yourself, when you say, I'm not going to have that sweetie, I'm not going to have that fag, I'm going to go to the gym, or you do go to the gym, or you go and do your work, you need to understand how powerful you will feel at the end of the day. Because the power that you will feel will be incomprehensible. You will never experience anything like it in the world. Trust me, it's just one of those things. It's worth it. Like the L'Oreal advert said, you're worth it. The actions will be worth it. Now, after you discipline your body, you do that consistently. Okay, obviously in that first section I want to put in meditation. Now when I say meditation, I don't mean sit down and concentrate on your breath. I don't mean that. I don't mean you sit down and you do some breathing exercise. You can, but here's the thing, the first phase of our little program is all physical, right? None of it's really mental. You're not focusing on any mental tasks. I'm not going to give that to you right now. I'm going to say, you sit the fuck down and you just control your bloody body. Focus on that first, then control your mind afterwards, right? But you can't even control your body yet, so let's just get that under wraps first. So first you control your body, okay? Meditation in this realm, I'm going to use the Zen Buddhist version of meditation, which is actually just called Zazen. Now Zazen literally just means sitting. It just means sitting meditation, yeah, sitting, to sit. How long have you sat for? That's what they say. So I'm going to tell you, just sit. Just sit. Sit your body down, sit your ass down somewhere, and sit down for 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. Just sit down. Close your damn eyes. Put a timer on and just sit. Don't try and do anything with your mind. Just sit in a still position for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Again, you can do your breathing exercises, cool. You can do your inner body awareness, cool. But here's the thing, I don't want you to do anything. I don't want you to do anything. I don't want you to mentally exhaust yourself. I just want you to sit. Again, we're talking about the physical body, right? So just put your body in a simple position and still it, which means sit down. Let your mind do whatever it's going to do. Don't try and still the mind. Don't try and stop the mind. Very stupid thing to do. You might cause yourself to be retarded if you try this too hard. I know I did. I almost made myself go mad by trying to still the mind. Don't try and still the mind. You will drive yourself insane. Just sit and do this for 30 days. I guarantee you, if you do this, what I've just said to you, you discipline your body for 30 days. After this phase, you will feel such a supreme and sublime sense of power in your life. You will actually feel like anything's possible. And you've not even scratched the surface when it comes to discovering your power. You've not even scratched the surface. There's so much more to fucking discover. It's unbelievable. And I'm talking to you from the perspective of someone who has not even scratched the surface yet. I'm looking at the surface. I've not scratched it yet. I'm looking on it. I'm looking at it. I've not even stepped on the surface yet, brother. There's so much more to discover. Your untapped potential is so fucking deep and vast. Oh my god. Brother, like, the greats that existed, they were no different to you and I. The great conquerors, the great sages, the wise men, the powerful men, all of them. There was nothing different about them compared to you. They just saw it. They just saw their own power. That's it. They realised it. You and I just haven't realised it. You and I just haven't tapped our own potential yet. But once you tap your own potential, you will see how you're powerful, you will see how you're strong, and you will see that whatever your dreams are, you can very well achieve them. The only reason they seem like they're not achievable is because you simply haven't seen or tapped into your own power potential. You've not seen it. So I want to give you this little task for the next 30 days. Go choose a time that you're going to wake up every day and stick to it. You see how hard it is? It's fucking extremely hard. Extremely hard. You say you're going to wake up every day at, I don't know, fucking 9 AM. Look how hard that's going to be. It's going to be fucking excruciatingly hard. I'm telling you right now. You tell yourself that. For 6 days, you're not going to eat any sugar. You see how hard that's going to be. For 6 days, you're going to go to the gym every single day at the same time. You see how difficult that's going to be. You tell yourself that for 6 days, you're not going to touch your dick. See how hard that's going to be. Or even stay away from sex. See how hard that's going to be. Do you know what? To normal people, this is mad. To normal people, they're like, oh my god, this is crazy. Oh, me, I love sugar. I love fapping. I love sex. They're so stupid. But that's because they don't understand their own power. So forget about them. For 6 days, you tell yourself, I'm going to go to the gym. For 6 days, you tell yourself, I'm going to do this or that. Yeah? Out of the week. You get your 1 day off, right? Go see how hard it's going to be to do this. How difficult it is. And once you've obviously accomplished it, you will feel, again, a profound sense of inner gratitude and power, whatever you want to call it. Right, I'm at the gym. So my time is over. I'll talk to you in a bit. Alright? Listen to what I said. If you're game, obviously this isn't a forceful request, this is very much up to your own discretion. But for the next 30 days, do it and tell me how it goes, right? Write it down in the comment section below, DM me, whatever the fuck, right? There's an Instagram page as well, so go and check that out. Okay? But stay in touch with me, let me know how things go. I want to know. Okay? Let me know how it goes for the next 30 days, because you know what? I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. For the next 30 days, I'm going to set myself this target. For the next 30 days, I'm going to tell myself every single day I'm going to do these things. And if I don't do it, it just goes to show how hard it really is. And how I don't really have control over myself yet. Yeah? Don't give up. Okay? You're going to get to a point where you want to give up. And you're like, you know what? It's too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. Fuck it. No, that's weakness. Don't give up. If you miss days, that's fine. That just means that you've got work to do. Try again the day after, okay? Don't give up. If you realise how weak you really are, that's not a reason to give up. That's a reason to say, okay, do you know what? I need to get a handle on myself, man. I need to start working a bit harder, okay? So don't give up. You're not weak. You're actually a strong person. You just haven't realised it. Use it or lose it is my mantra in life. If you don't use particular things, they will eventually go and wither away and die. If you haven't exercised your discipline, if you've not exercised your own personal power, how the fuck do you expect it to be there? It won't be there. It'll be very, very there, but in a latent form. Very, very there. It'll be there, but it'll be very dim. Alright? Okay. Auf Wiedersehen, my friends. It's been a great one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and adios.